Well, who's ready to take another ride on the Liam Eichenberg Express, everybody? Not. Before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Goldfine and Bowles, Lawyers for the Injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their two things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PlaybookSports on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Playbook Sports Podcast. Welcome back to another Miami Dolphins preview video coming off of a win against the Giants. If you want to know my thoughts on that game, go check that video out. Coming into this game, Miami 4-1 on the year. Very, very good. Beating teams we should beat. Love to see that. And last week, a 15-point win over the Giants. It was kind of sloppy. I didn't love everything about it. If you want more in depth, obviously go watch that video. But would have loved to just absolutely pummel them. But a 15-point win, if we're complaining about that, that's a good thing. You know, we come to expect excellence from this offense, and I didn't see it last week. Would love to see it this week. Carolina, 0-5. Kind of a shockingly bad team this year. I know several of my co-hosts, at least two of my co-hosts, thought that they were a legitimate contender to win that division. Not only are they not a contender to win that division, they're a contender to be the worst team in the NFL this season, and they don't even have their first-round pick. So Chicago fans are absolutely grinning over this. Carolina coming off of a rough 18-point loss to Detroit last week. They just didn't look very good, man. They just haven't looked very good, honestly, and this is, you know, we're in an age where you expect quarterbacks to come out of college and immediately produce because quarterbacks like Justin Herbert have done that. Deshaun Watson did that, and it's like, guys, most of the time you put a rookie quarterback in there, you're going to struggle because they're new. They're trying to get up to speed and everything. It's a hard position to play in the league, and it's not like they have a whole bunch of studs over there either helping out poor Bryce Young, who I do think will be a good quarterback in time. This year, offensively, Carolina is 25th in points per game, averaging right around 18 points a game, and they are 28th defensively, giving up 28.8 points per game. That is the more surprising stat to me because their defense has talent. Brian Burns, Derek Brown, Jeremy Chin. They've got talent all over that defensive side of the ball. They just haven't put it together. Could be because their offense isn't scoring points. Miami, obviously, offensively, number one in the NFL. They're averaging 36.2 points per game, first by a decent margin, yards a game over 500. I mean, the offense has clicked on all cylinders, and yes, losing Devon Achane hurts, but Raheem Mostert was doing awesome the first 2 weeks before we even saw Achane as he was a healthy scratch, so I like to think Mostert can carry the load until Achane returns. Defensively, though, Miami is giving up 27 points per game, which is good for 26th in the NFL. And just a quick counter for you guys, everybody who likes to say, well, take away, these games from Tua and he doesn't have a great season. Okay, take away the Bills game and the Chargers game away from the defense, and our defense has been fantastic. Gave up 17 to New England, gave up only 13 to the Broncos, who scored a special teams touchdown, and then 13, 14 to the Giants, however many they had, 16 to the Giants. I mean, defense has been great outside of those two games. So two can play that game. If you just want to take away the good, you got to take away the bad too. It's only fair. So based on averages, it looks good for Miami. Obviously, one team is 4-1 in the lead in their division. The other team is not looking so hot in Carolina. Let's talk about the injury report. Obviously, you mentioned Devon Achane, brutal. Stinks that he's out. Kid's amazing, so fast. He's like Tyreek Hill as a running back, which is crazy when you have two of those guys on the same offense. The one that hurts the most is Connor Williams being out this week. I understand Mike McDaniel said, we're dealing with the repercussions of playing him against the Giants. Probably should have held him out of that game, he's saying. But, hopefully he gets healed up and is ready to go next week. But I don't want us looking to next week. Do not fall into that trap, and I'll get more into that later. We will be seeing Liam Eichenberg at center. Brutal, 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 man. It messes up the entire timing of the offense, and it's really upsetting that the coaches can't see that, and they're blindly putting their faith in Eichenberg. You missed on a draft pick, Chris Greer. Own that, man. Get him out of here. Get a competent center. Liam Eichenberg was a tackle in college. We put him at guard because he couldn't play tackle, and he stunk there. So now we're trying him at center? I mean, what, is this his last chance to be an offensive lineman? I think he blew that a long time ago. Not having him hurts. Also on the injury report, Phillips being questionable still. And I love Jalen Phillips, man. I put a little bit of money on him to lead the NFL in sacks this year, and we really haven't missed him so much. I would love to have him out there. He's a stud pass rusher. But, man, Andrew Van Ginkel, what a monster. Leads the team in sacks so far this year with 4. He has been fantastic for us. Thank God for him. Vic Fangio clearly likes him a lot. He's had him all over the defense. Need him and Bradley Chubb to take advantage of a not-so-great offensive line in Carolina. Injury report for Carolina. No Miles Sanders, no starting running back. He is ruled out for this game. And then their two defensive stars, or two of their three, I'd say, Derek Brown and Brian Burns, both questionable to play. If one or both of them don't play, that is huge because they are both absolute monsters. I do not want to watch Derek Brown go up against Liam Eichenberg, man. Just like I didn't want to watch Dexter Lawrence do it, I watched a clip of Dexter Lawrence just toss Robert Hunt. Can you imagine what he would have done to poor Liam Eichenberg? My God, it makes me sick to think about it. But it'll be interesting to see. It'll be huge if they play, or if they don't play. That changes their defense entirely, and it's not like their defense has been balling by any means. 28.8 points allowed a game, and they're going up against the number one offense. Like, you need everybody out there to try and slow us down, and if you're missing your two best players, that's not great. Let's get into X factors here. Miami. I believe I've used him once before. He was a key last week, but I think an X factor in this game is Jalen Waddle, man. 10 targets last week, led the team in targets. Yes, two interceptions were on targeted throws to him. One of them, it was hit at the line. The other one, he was trying to force it to him. It was a mistake. Don't do that again, please. But you can tell that they're looking for him, and I like that because we need to get him more involved in the offense. He's way too good to just be, to be an actual B receiver. He's a 1B for this offense. He's a 1A on several other teams. For us, he's a 1B, and that's why I need to see him be a number one wide receiver, just playing a slightly second fiddle to Tyreek Hill. And when he played Carolina his rookie year, 9 catches, 137 yards, and a touchdown. Love to see that. I really do think his target share is going to continue to increase here, and it's going to be him and Tyreek getting all of the looks. And there's not many teams that can slow those two down. Defensively for Miami, give me Andrew Van Ginkel, man. He has been awesome for us this year. If Jalen Phillips can't go, it will be up to Andrew Van Ginkel to just ball out. 3 sacks in his last 2 weeks. We're going up against a young quarterback. He's going to try and get the ball out quickly. If our corners can hold up for even a second, I think Van Ginkel and Bradley Chubb both can get around their tackles and get home. We've got to put pressure on him. That's the best way to beat a young quarterback, make them uncomfortable. Go get him, Van Ginkel. Be the man this week. Carolina, their X factors. I'm going with running back Chuba Hubbard. With Miles Sanders being out, Chuba Hubbard averages 4 yards a carry for his career. He is a good running back. If Carolina wants any chance to win this game, they have to dominate time of possession, keep our offense off of the field. And it's in Miami. You know it's going to be hot. They're going to want their defense to get rested. They're going to have to dominate time of possession. They're going to need Chuba Hubbard to grind out some serious yardage. And then defensively, if their 2 defensive linemen are out, I'm going with their only other stud on the defensive side of the ball in safety linebacker hybrid Jeremy Chin. Chin is awesome in the role that he plays, kind of out of nowhere, was a mid-round pick for them a few years back. Very, very good. He'll need to play the game of his life back there, being the leader of that defense and trying to figure out the motion the Miami Dolphins are going to run. It's a tall order. That's why he's an X factor. If he comes to play and plays the game of his life, never know, might slow us down. So those are my X factors. Let's get into the 5 keys to a Miami Dolphins victory. Number 1, mentioned this one a little bit ago. Stop the short passes. Watching the game against the Giants was so frustrating because it seemed like it was just quick slants, Darren Waller, anybody. Just get the ball out of Daniel Jones' hands as fast as possible because you knew we were going to get to him. That is going to be Carolina's game plan as well. Adam Thielen, if you have him on fantasy, enjoy because he's probably going to get 10 catches for like 32 yards on a bunch of short passes. And we just don't love to take that away. That's a key. Take it away. Let the pass rushers get home. Fangio, adjust the game plan a smidge here. Let us get home. Number 2, speaking of taking it away, win the turnover battle. We just lost the turnover battle to the New York Giants. We're just lucky that they suck. Cannot do that. Have to turn over Young, force some fumbles, play good defense, make him make the mistakes, don't make them yourself. Number 3, this is kind of a weekly one. Keep Tua upright. Block. If Brian Burns and Derek Brown play, that is a good defensive front. Have to hold up against them. I know losing Connor Williams hurts. That is a massive, massive loss. But we've still got Kendall Lam, who's a good fill-in for Armstead. We're missing 2 of our 5 starters on the offensive line. Kendall Lam and then Isaiah Wynn, who thankfully is okay, only missed 1 snap last week, and I was a little bit worried about his injury. He will be fine. And then we've got Hunt and Jackson on the right side. Block for Tua, keep him upright, let him get through a couple of progressions, and let's slice their defense to pieces. Number 4 is contain Bryce Young. Bryce Young is shifty. He's quick. If his early reads aren't there, they're going to tell him, go, get out of the pocket because you're going to take a shot. That's what I would do if I'm their OC. If your first or second read isn't there on these quick passes, if they're playing up, press coverage, go, take off. We've got to be prepared for that. He's not slow. He's not just a pure pocket passer. The kid can move. Got to contain him here. And then number 5, as it is every single week, run the damn ball. We are averaging 186 rushing yards a game, over 6 yards a carry. I don't care that Connor Williams is out. Move the ball on the ground. Raheem Mostert, Salvon Ahmed, Chris Brooks, those are going to be the 3 we're going with, unless Jeff Wilson, he's doubtful. I doubt he plays. No pun intended. Move the ball on the ground. Let's get another 200-yard rushing game in here. Let the offense just cook that way and dominate time of possession on our side. So those are my 5 keys to a Miami Dolphins victory. Final score prediction. Last week, I did not predict us to cover the spread, and we did. This is another 14-point spread. That is huge. I thought the line would move with the Connor Williams news. Nope, didn't move at all. Kind of surprising. So we didn't cover it last week. I think we cover it this week. I really do. I think our offense is going to move the ball up and down the field, and it is, at the end of the day, a rookie QB still trying to get his legs underneath him in the NFL. Give me Miami Dolphins 38, Carolina Panthers 21. And that'll do it for this week's preview of the Miami Dolphins Week 6 matchup against the Carolina Panthers. We will see you guys back here early next week to recap the game. And as always, fins up, baby.